Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news, so folks, buckle up because the NFL rumor mill is buzzing about a potential blockbuster move that could shake up the NFC South in a big way. We're talking about CeeDee Lamb, the Dallas Cowboys star receiver, possibly landing in Atlanta. Now I know what you're thinking. Lamb to the Falcons. Is that even possible? Well, the whispers are getting louder, and there are some solid reasons behind this speculation. The Cowboys, currently sitting at 4-5, are in a bit of a tight spot financially, with just about $3.5 million in cap space. They're also eyeing extensions for Dak Prescott, which makes their situation even more delicate. The Cowboys have some pressing needs, especially on the offensive line, which has struggled this season, allowing 42 sacks so far. After some injuries along the line, they're looking for ways to ease the pressure on Prescott, and trading away one of their top receivers might be part of that strategy. The rumor suggests that Dallas could be willing to send CeeDee Lamb to Atlanta in exchange for a second-round pick in 2026 and a fifth-rounder in 2027. That's a significant haul, especially considering Lamb's talent and production. The Cowboys are reportedly considering this move as a way to free up cap space, around $12 million, while also addressing their roster needs. The idea is that Lamb could be a perfect fit for Atlanta, especially given the team's current receiver situation, which is a bit banged up. Drake London has been dealing with a hip injury, missing 3 games and accumulating 45 receptions for 620 yards, while rookie receiver A. Mooney has been hampered by a hamstring issue, with 38 catches for 510 yards. Bringing in Lamb could be a game-changer, boosting the Falcons' passing game significantly and opening up more mismatches in the secondary during those rainy, tough November games in Atlanta. Now let's talk about Lamb himself. At just 26 years old, he's already an all-pro and one of the most explosive receivers in the league. His route running is sharp, and he's got hands that rarely let him down. His PFF grade of 87. 9 in 2025 puts him among the top 6 wide receivers in the NFL this season. He's got 62 catches for 850 yards, averaging 7 yards per reception with 7 touchdowns. His expected points added per target (EPA) target is an impressive 0.36, and his yards after catch (YAC) stands at 5.4 yards per reception, placing him in the top 5 among receivers. His catch rate is 68.2%, and he's targeted 91 times this season with 15 explosive plays, ranking him among the top 4 in the league. His route win rate is 29.1%, which puts him in the top 3. That kind of production, especially at his age, makes him a clear difference maker. He's got that rare ability to take over games, and with a healthy season, he could easily surpass 200 yards, transforming Atlanta's offense into one of the most dangerous in the league. But of course, it's not all smooth sailing. Lamb has had some injury issues, notably a shoulder injury in Week 5 that caused him to miss 2 games. Still, his overall career stats, more than 200 yards and 42 touchdowns over his 5 seasons, show a player with the potential to be a franchise cornerstone. His 2023 campaign has been particularly impressive, with 749 yards so far despite the injuries. His style of play is reminiscent of some of the best in the league, like Jamar Chase, with a career average of 14.1 yards per catch. His ability to stretch the field and make big plays makes him an ideal target for a Falcons offense looking to elevate their passing game. Now let's take a quick pause here. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Looking at the other side, the Dallas Cowboys might see this as a necessary move. With Micah Parsons commanding the defensive front, though still with a hefty $30 million cap hit, Dallas needs to focus on restructuring their roster. Their defense has been pretty solid, but the offense, especially the passing attack, has been inconsistent, partly due to injuries and a lack of reliable weapons outside of Lamb. Trading Lamb could help them clear some cap space to invest in younger defenders or draft picks, especially in a draft class known for promising defensive talent. The Cowboys could also be looking at this as an opportunity to reset and build for the future, especially with Dak Prescott still in the prime of his career, but needing more protection and playmakers around him. For Atlanta, though, acquiring CeeDee Lamb could be a massive boost. The Falcons are trying to keep pace in a competitive division, with the Saints, Buccaneers, and Panthers all vying for playoff spots. Lamb's addition would immediately elevate their passing offense, giving quarterback Kirk Cousins, a guy who's been solid with an 85.9 passer rating, another reliable target who can create mismatches and stretch defenses. His explosiveness would open up the field, allowing the Falcons to better capitalize on their opportunities, especially in critical third-down conversions. That's been a bit of a struggle for Atlanta this season, but with Lamb, the team could see a jump of around 16% in EPA per pass, according to some estimates, helping to sustain drives and put more points on the board. This move could also have a ripple effect in the NFC playoff picture. The Falcons, currently sitting at a decent spot in the standings, could see their Super Bowl odds skyrocket from plus 900 to plus 550 if they land Lamb and incorporate him into their game plan. His presence would not only boost the offense, but could also unlock other players, like Kyle Pitts or even the running game, by forcing defenses to respect the passing threat. That kind of strategic advantage is exactly what Atlanta needs to push further in the postseason. Now about the Falcons themselves. They've been building a solid foundation this season. With a young core led by players like Drake London and Bijan Robinson, they've shown flashes of greatness. However, the inconsistency at wide receiver has been a concern, especially with London missing 3 games due to a hip injury, limiting his production to 45 receptions for 620 yards. Mooney has also been hampered by a hamstring injury, with 38 catches for 510 yards. Bringing in Lamb would be like adding a turbo boost to their offense, elevating their yards gained per game and creating those critical mismatches that can turn a game around. The team's offensive efficiency would see a significant boost, especially in the passing game, which has been somewhat streaky this season. And let's not forget the impact on the NFC South, a division that's been fairly unpredictable this year, with Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and Carolina all vying for top spots. Could see the Falcons rising above with a move like this. The NFC South has historically been a tough division, but with a weapon like Lamb on board, the Falcons could become a dominant force. The added offensive firepower would give them the flexibility to outscore opponents and stay competitive even when their defense faces challenges, something that has been a bit of a concern at times this season, especially with the defense leaking points, allowing around 26 points per game. From a strategic standpoint, this kind of trade reflects the Falcons' aggressive approach. They've been quietly building their roster, focusing on both offense and defense, but if they land Lamb, it signals they're not just content to compete. They want to contend seriously. It's a bold move and one that could define their season. For the Falcons fans, it's the kind of move that gets everyone excited, imagining what this offense could look like with Lamb running routes in the red zone and creating mismatches all over the field. His ability to excel in tight coverage and produce big plays aligns perfectly with Atlanta's offensive philosophy: fast, aggressive, and explosive. Of course, there are risks involved. The Cowboys might hesitate, especially if Lamb continues to recover from his shoulder injury or if they believe they can get more value closer to the trade deadline. Plus, the Falcons would need to make sure they can fit Lamb under their cap and that the chemistry between him and their existing weapons can flourish quickly. But the potential rewards outweigh the risks, especially if Atlanta can close the gap in the division and aim for a deep playoff run. In summary, the possibility of CeeDee Lamb joining the Falcons is one of those stories that could reshape the NFC South. It's about upgrading their offense, creating more explosive plays, and giving their quarterback a true game changer. For the Cowboys, it might be a tough pill to swallow, but sometimes you have to make tough decisions to rebuild or retool for the future. The NFL is all about those high-stakes moves, and this one is shaping up to be a real game changer. Whether it materializes or not, it's a storyline fans will be watching closely, and it's exactly the kind of drama that makes the NFL so exciting. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to US and TO, the Atlanta Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates. So stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news.